Products like this one right here can be very, very bad for your Amazon business. And if you're not sure why that product might be a trap for your Amazon business, in this video, I'm gonna be running through some red flags that you'll see on a ton of Amazon products. I've talked to thousands of Amazon sellers, and these are some of the most common mistakes that I see them make. So I'm gonna go ahead and just break these down for you so you don't make those same mistakes. But if you're brand new to the channel, my name is Warner Fields from Fields of Profit. I'm a full-time 7-figure Amazon seller. I'm super excited to show you these exact products and break down some things that's gonna save you a ton of headaches. But before we do that, if you guys are brand new to the channel or want even more free resources to learn how to sell on Amazon, just give me a link directly beneath me for our completely free Amazon seller Discord community. There's over 45,000 people in there sharing a ton of free information. Would love to see you in there, but let's go ahead and jump into the video. So I've gone ahead and picked out several example products here to break down these mistakes that you definitely want to avoid. So be sure to stick around so you can check out all of the different tips here, but let's just go ahead and jump into it here. So this first product right here, a lot of times when you hear people complaining about price tanking, or if you've been selling on Amazon and you're running into some products, you buy it and the price goes way down before you even get to send it into Amazon. A lot of times this is going to be the cause. And I found this exact item right here. Our team actually stumbled across this item and we caught this red flag luckily. But if you check this item out here, you will notice that over the last, couple months here, let's even go to the last 3 months here, the price has gone from, about 35 bucks way up to 48 and then down to as low as $12. So we definitely did not want to be on an item like this. But the big red flag on this listing that you need to look out for is just simply the number of increasing sellers. So let's say you're sourcing this item and it's the middle of April, something looks something like this. It would be probably very, very profitable, right? It's just some Pyrex containers, something like that. Even if you're paying 20 bucks for them, if you're being able to sell them for 40, you're going to make, a good amount of money there, right? But it's important to consider the past history of the item whenever you're sourcing something. So from here, what I'm going to do is figure out what the price was last time there were 12 sellers on the listing. As the the seller count is increasing, I want to figure out what is that reasonable price for the item now that there's 12 sellers, going back to simple supply and demand. Now that there are 12 sellers on this listing, there has never been 12 sellers on this listing ever before. So that tells me that this price should go to unprecedented lows on a listing like this, which in this case would have been lower than $27. So even there right away, if you're paying 20 bucks for this set, you would know to kind of avoid it. And then it looks like it even went lower and lower and lower until it kept going down to $12 at this point. So on the flip side of something like that, I just want to show you kind of the different example here. I found this Lego set here. I think it's kind of like retired or something like that. But if you were on this listing, let's say, last holiday season right here, this price would have gone way down. But something I hear a lot of beginners be a little bit concerned about is, when should I lower my prices? When should I stick around and see if the price is going to come back up? So something like this, see how the seller count is increasing and it's literally never been this high. So there's no precedent for me to know whether or not the prices are ever going to come back up. Should I wait around? In this case, I'd probably just sell the item. Something like this, even if you did source it, you see it right here, and the seller count was increasing super, super quickly. It went down to about $45 there for a little bit, but we had that historical precedent here where we can see that, I guess last holiday season or the holiday season before last, the price went to about 45 bucks, did almost the same thing last holiday season. And then because it was such an in-demand hot item, price went right back up. Same thing happened this past holiday season. I don't know if we got the same level of kind of jump up there, maybe a few dollars more expensive holiday season before last, but that just to show you there, look for that kind of historical precedent on an item. If we're sourcing and we see a seller increase, last time there were 12 sellers on this listing, maybe last time it was 30 bucks and we're still profitable, I would pull the trigger. If, in this case, it's never been that popular, so it's probably going to stay price tanked for a while. Hopefully that makes sense. That's something that a lot of beginners will kind of fall into, is buying those price inflated items like that Pyrex set. So this next thing I want to go ahead and break down for you is basically just about getting IP complaints. So if you sell a product and the brand doesn't want you on that listing, it's well within their rights to kick us off the listing usually. So you want to look out for some simple red flags here. The main red flag on this listing, if you ever see a super flat buy box price line like this on the Keepa chart, that typically means that it's somewhat controlled. You can also go into data buy box statistics and we can see that there's going to be about 100% buy box rotation given to pattern. Even though Amazon themselves is on this listing as well, not even Amazon can beat this seller. If you zoom out, there's only ever been one seller on this listing for quite a while. And we can see back here, last September or so, it seems like there were a few different sellers on this listing and they kicked them all off at once. You can see it right there where they just all vanished, probably IP complaint, and then pattern came back on being the only seller. So if you ever see something like that, you see a super flat price line, you see buy box statistics showing 100%, probably going to be an IP complaint. And especially if you see, 1 to 2 sellers consistently, no more than that. It even looks like maybe a couple sellers right here tried to hop on momentarily, potentially got an IP complaint, or I guess it's just Amazon in this case. They hopped on, made some sales and kind kind of kick themselves out. And then in this case, we had Pattern as the seller. They're one of the biggest sellers on Amazon. So if you ever see them, proceed with caution. They have some exclusive deals with some brands. So if you ever see a product where the brand name up here, Ritual, is the same name as the seller name, Ritual US, that typically means that that is the brand owner on the listing, and you want to stay far away from those listings. So pretty simple red flag there. If you see the listing being controlled by one seller consistently, or the brand itself is selling the listing, avoid it. You're probably going to get an IP complaint. So let's head on to this next one here. Typically, you're going to want to avoid listings with Amazon on it. That's a pretty standard, beginner red flag thing. So looking at this listing right here, when we check out the Keepa chart, we can see that there's a ton of orange on this listing. That means Amazon is dominating this listing. We can also see that there's only been a couple different sellers on this listing. So maybe no one's ever even tried to come in here, compete with Amazon, but it doesn't seem like anyone's really been able to beat them. Sometimes you will see listings like this one right here, where Amazon is all over the listing, but as we're mousing along the Keepa chart, you can see how it kind of changes from yellowish to orange to blue up there at the top. That's showing me over time who's getting the buy box. So who's making the sales at that time. And the fact that Amazon is on this listing, but they're sharing the buy box, tells me that this is a listing that I would want to sell on, even though Amazon is on it. Something like this, Amazon has 100% of the buy box, except for, that little chunk right there. They might have just been out of stock or something. Something like this, we've got several sellers on the listing, and we've got several different sellers getting buy box. So if we go to data, buy box statistics right there, we can see, the Amazon's getting the majority of the sales compared to other sellers, but these guys are still making plenty of sales. And on a listing that, sells several thousand times a month, obviously that's not for this specific variation, that's for all of these different shoes here, but that still tells me that there's probably a good amount of sales going to the third-party sellers on this listing. So you kind of look out for that. Typically, you want to stay away from listings that Amazon is on, but a lot of beginners are going to be scared of Amazon listings. So if you go in and kind of go the extra mile and you pay attention to the buy box statistics, you'll be able to make a little bit more money than your less educated competition there. So this next red flag here is just a classic IP complaint. So we kind of talked about it a little bit, where we had those listings where there's only one seller, they're kind of dominating it, brand it's selling it. We also have listings like this one where you can see, over time, the seller count was kind of, working its way up, all the way up to about 17 sellers at one point. And then in May here, a bunch of sellers got kicked off a cliff. They were all gone. And then there was just nobody selling on this listing except for a couple sellers here. So if you ever see this, where it's just immediately all at once, a lot of people getting kicked off of a listing, that is an IP complaint. So you'd have to, appeal it with invoices on all that good stuff. If the brand doesn't want you to sell on the listing, you might get stuck with some of that inventory. So it's also important that you kind of know the distinction between an IP complaint and when it just starts selling kind of quickly. So this is a decent example right here, where it goes from 12 sellers and you can see it count its way down to 9 sellers. If this had gone from 12 to 9 in a heartbeat, maybe I would think of that as an IP complaint. You can see right here, went from 17 to 2 all at once. That's definitely an IP complaint. Here, where it's just kind of naturally stepping its way down, that's probably just sellers selling out. So if you ever see a big decrease in sellers, make sure that it is not a complete cliff. If it's just kind of very gradual, even if it's fast and one by one sellers are going out of stock, those can be awesome listings because it means it's selling fast. You might have a little bit less competition to kind of look out for. So this last red flag that I want to go ahead and break down for you guys is talking about buy box suppression. I know this is another thing that trips up a lot of beginners. So if we look at this listing right here, compared to some of those other listings we've been looking at, where we've got that nice add to cart button. If you shop on Amazon a lot, you probably just click the add to cart button all the time. In this case, the buy box on this particular product is suppressed, meaning that the buyers who want to buy this product have to go in and click see all buying options and then kind of manually pick one of those sellers themselves. So that is something you want to kind of think about on these listings, where if you are selling on one of these listings, typically you're going to need to have the lowest FBA price, or at least be tied for the lowest FBA price. And so sometimes these listings can cause really fast decreases in price. So if I'm looking at a listing like this, I have the buy box option selected right here. We can kind of zoom out and it probably has one. Yeah. So back there, you can see that purple line there where there was a buy box. And then ever since like January or so, there has not been a buy box. So this particular listing wouldn't necessarily be as big of a red flag as something like this listing right here, where we've had a buy box for quite a while. And then very recently here within the last couple days, the buy box has gone completely away. This is going to cause a slowdown in the number of sales. And then it'll also be exaggerated on, this is like literally #1 in shoes. So it's going to be much more exaggerated on some different products that you find that have a buy box get suppressed. So just before you buy anything that is buy box suppressed, make sure that they have a consistent pattern of being suppressed. So in this case, there has been no buy box. There's been sellers on it for well over a month, and it seems to be still consistently kind of moving a little bit, especially based on the number of sellers decreasing there recently. Seems like people might be buying this for $45. Comparing that to this, people, we don't have the demand proved that somebody does want to buy this product with no buy box, and it's also going to slow down the sales velocity. So if you ever see a product where the buy box has recently disappeared, make sure that you're either buying way less, or you've kind of looked at the past and seen, last time the buy box went away, was there a pattern of the sales decreasing and going down and the price goes down on the item? A lot of times when you see items like this where the buy box goes away, you'll start to see the price decrease as sellers just have to lower their prices to be that next guy in line. So basically, moral of the story here is if you're going to buy something that is buy box suppressed, make sure that it's consistent and that it didn't just happen, because a lot of times if it just happened within the last week, last month, the price is going to make its way down. So be on the lookout for that as well. So now that you guys are way more prepared to go out and source profitable product and avoid those kind of traps you might fall into as a beginner, if you're pretty deep into a YouTube binge, I would encourage you to go take action right now. If you don't know how to source products, I'll also put a video up here right here, breaks down my personal favorite way to source products for my 7-figure Amazon business. But I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you did get value out of this video, please feel free to add some value back to my business. Hit that subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate that. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, feel free to drop those down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible on that. But I really appreciate you guys watching this video and I will see you next time.